they're not going to get him. The Knicks won't be trading for Giannis at the deadline. Maybe in the offseason, but this just isn't happening now.
Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew Sistad, glad unite. Philly NY in the spotlight.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 92. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh,
Did I pronounce that correctly? Did I pronounce it correctly?
Off to a good start.
You pronounce it.
Antetokounmpo.
Don't you think that's why we all just say Giannis? Because it's just like hard to pronounce?
Of course.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Giannis is on his way to the Knicks.
And you are like you had one sip of coffee, and the second it touched your lips, you are a different person.
Before we started, I was about to fall asleep.
Oh my God.
And yeah.
And now you did some coffee.
Because I took some coffee.
Much better.
Because I did some coffee. We were just talking before we started how I was wondering why no one says you did coffee or took coffee. It's always drank coffee, but I just did some caffeine. I took a shot of espresso. I took or did some caffeine. And it worked.
Did you really just drink espresso?
Well, I'm in the process, but
oh my God, dude! If I had an espresso, I would be up for 24 hours straight.
I'll fall asleep by 11 o'clock.
You're nuts.
It's 8 o'clock right now for everyone. A little past 8. So
is caffeine bad for you? Because I switched doctors, and you're filling out the questionnaire. And one of the things that they ask you, like amongst all like the really bad stuff, like amongst not bad, but like, are you a smoker? Do you drink alcohol? It's like, do you have
how much caffeine?
And I'm like,
they ask you how much caffeine, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, does that really matter? So that's interesting.
I think two things. Okay, we're going to try to focus on Giannis, Sixers, Knicks stuff, but real quickly about this coffee question. My understanding is that it is yes at a certain point. Like if you're having
you might be at that point, dude.
Well, I actually don't have that much throughout the day. Like in the morning, I have like maybe like in terms of like measuring cups, like not an actual, like probably 1.5. Like I don't have that. Like it's that 1.5 measuring cups is like maybe half like a mug. I don't have that much at a time. I might have coffee twice, like 2 or 3 times a day, but it's never like a lot in the sitting. But anyway, my understanding is that a lot of people drink coffee. Like, what do they put in it, right? They put in sugar and all these processed sweet creamers and all this milk. If you're doing that, that's not healthy, right? Especially to start your day.
But that's the thing, though, is that it said caffeine. It didn't say, do you drink coffee? It said...
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah. So
I think it's like for certain people with certain heart hit issues, then it's bad. And if you have a lot, like it raises your heart rate, it's bad for your heart, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Vanilla bullshit, small doses, all that stuff is...
Yeah, you get the vanilla bullshit. All right. So we're going to talk Giannis to the Knicks, which is happening. The deadline's on Thursday. This will be out on Tuesday. It's happening. Giannis will be a Knick in a couple of days. You're going to be celebrating. You're going to be celebrating because you're going to become a Knicks fan. Like I flipped from the Jets to the Eagles on this podcast. You're going to flip from the Sixers to the Knicks on this podcast.
I will not, but continue.
You'll be pouting. You'll definitely be pouting. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's more accurate. All right. So we'll talk that. We'll get into some Paul George. He's a cheater like the rest of your city, and subscriber questions as well. Are we mocking New York fans on Twitter?
No.
There's not enough to mock these days.
There's not there's not that much. It's mostly Yankees and Giants fans get mocked. But yeah, well, I'm sure there will be some good ones. You know, as the Knicks season comes to a close, trade deadline, there'll be some good ones.
Do you remember that WFAN guy Sean Marash, who you had
Yes.
made fun of on one of your tweets, and I
Yeah.
told you about his like how. So Aaron Boone was on WFAN today, with the show after that show that Sean Marash is on.
Okay.
And
what he's the producer for a show? Is that right?
I don't know. He's like a third co-host. His name's not on the show. He's like part of like the Tiki Barber and Evan Roberts show.
Okay.
But he's not like his name's not on it. But he's kind of he talks more than a producer would talk. I don't really know.
Okay.
I don't pay that much attention to really know.
Yeah. Okay.
But so Aaron Boone was on with the afternoon show, the Craig Carden show, and you know he was actually in studio and he's answering, talking about a bunch of stuff, and he's talking about something, saying like I forgot what the topic was about. It doesn't even matter. But then he goes, yeah, and I heard your Sean earlier saying, and then something that was ridiculous, and then he like made fun of him. He like imitated his voice, like his squeaky little voice that he has. He's like, it was just, I gotta find.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, it's so funny.
That's fantastic.
All right, let's get into the Knicks or the Giannis to the Knicks.
All right, so let's recap.
Right?
Since you hit the panic button a week ago, they've gone like 7-0, and they're back to demolishing every team. Oh, 6-0, sorry, and they're demolishing every team, and it's every time you New Yorkers whine about a little swoon that you're in during the season, I come and talk you off the ledge, and everything gets turned around, and it's just what happens. So you're welcome. I talked you off the ledge, and everything's great. And maybe they'll trade for Giannis. Maybe they won't. But either way, I think that they're going to be in a very good spot.
He's a Knick, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just messing. I'm just trying.
I was going to say, I don't think. I think some people might not know that you are messing with me. So
yeah.
I'm actually trying to be the voice of reason for once. How about that?
So when they went through that 2-9 stretch, I was concerned. I expressed my concerns, but I said I'm not giving up on the team. And now that they won 6 straight, I feel much better. But I'm still not like, oh yeah, gung ho. This is they're back. They're best going to the finals easy. A lot of the flaws that were there are still there. Their defense they've been playing much better defense. Cat's still an issue. He's still not playing well. He's still not scoring. They're still worse with Brunson and Cat on the court. So the issues for the big picture are still there, but they're playing much better basketball. A lot better. So definitely feel better. Anyway, which by the way actually does have a lot to do with this trade discussion, because a lot of Knicks fans 2 weeks ago were, we need to trade for Giannis. We need to make big trades. Now, I don't know. I don't know if we should give up Deuce McBride.
Oh, dude. Before we get into that, it's up there. It's not, man, it's actually pretty close. Like, obviously the worst kind of coverage and fans who think they know what they're talking about is the NFL draft. There's nothing worse than that. But like firmly entrenched in spot number 2 is NBA specifically trade deadline buzz. There's just nothing worse than it. And all of the stuff you see, it's basically like people for example, let's give up McBride and Tyler Kolek and a 2nd round pick. And we'll just get him. Like, it'll be great. We'll just get him. And it's like from a macro perspective, it's like, all right, we'll trade you all of our shitty players, and in exchange, we'll get all of your great players. Sound good? Okay, deal. There's no.
It's not we'll trade you all the shitty players. It's we'll trade you our best players that we don't care about. Out of all the players we don't care about, we'll trade you the best ones of those.
Right.
Yeah.
And a pick swap. And these people just get so nuts, and they spend so much. Right. They spend so much time on the trade machine. It's like, well, how about this? And there'll be like 16 assets from one team. It's just like, find something better to do. Teams don't just trade except unless you're the Dallas Mavericks. Like, they don't just give you good players for your bad players. On this trade.
So you don't want me to just share my trade machine screen?
No, you can, but you're also not like I mean, you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean.
Of course.
All over Twitter for the past week, it's basically been, hey, here's this awful collection of players, and I'm just gonna get the best player because it's the team that I root for. And it's ridiculous. Again, it's not quite as bad as the NFL draft, but it's a pretty close second. Maybe that's what I should do. I'm gonna do a let's mock like NBA trades on Twitter next week. That will be very easy. Yes, that will be extremely easy to find. Like, you know how we've been saying, yeah, that like the Knicks, there's not a lot of New Yorkers. Like, I could rattle off. I could go on Twitter and find a bunch like right now.
Okay,
I'm not going to do that. So for next week,
I'm going to delay the Giannis talk for about another minute. I found the Aaron Boone making fun of, like, trolling Sean Morash.
Oh, good. Yeah,
all right.
Let's hear this.
This is more important than anything.
Yeah.
You can see this, right?
Yeah.
And let me know if you can't hear it for some reason. If you can't hear it, our audience can't hear it.
Okay.
Here sometimes, he had 430 plate appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he played. Like, I heard Sean even earlier was, in that voice, like, I felt like he just took him out when he would get two hits and better. Like, I mean, where you saw that. I hear sometimes,
oh, that is great. That is awesome.
That's just not true. That's just not true. Show me it.
Oh, that is awesome. Good for Boone. Good for Boone.
Have you heard that guy speak? That Sean Morash?
Yes. Oh, he's the worst. Yeah, he's got that like nasally kind of, like he's
this big, like heavy dude, and like he has these strong, ridiculous sports talk radio takes, and it's in like this like little like 12-year-old like boy voice. It's so funny. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck Giannis.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say he epitomizes everything that we dislike about angry New York stupid fans. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. He's
the poster child for that.
You need people like him.
Yeah,
they fuel your hate. They fuel your hate for New York.
Well, I'd rather not I'd rather not be hateful, but
you wouldn't hate New York fans if it were all people like me.
Of course not.
You'd be like, okay, they're just.
But I don't want to hate. Fans. I don't want to hate things and hate people. I want to be happy and live life. And
you want to hate. You are a hater. You want to hate.
I am not. Come on, give me some credit, man. I've come a long way.
We're doing this episode 92. Not on coffee, not on Aaron Boone and Sean Morash. We're doing it on Giannis-to-the-Knicks. So, as you kindly pointed out, the Knicks are on a 6-game winning streak. All is right again.
Mm-hmm.
But Giannis is out there, and the Giannis rumors are pretty loud. I mean, you probably see a lot. What NBA podcast or NBA show is not talking about it right now? I'm assuming everybody's talking about it, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's the number one headline. Rightfully so.
All the national sports media, all that, they're all talking about it, right?
Yep.
Like it's either the Super Bowl or Giannis, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Giannis to the Knicks. A couple things I want to talk about here. So, I want to get into. Let's first talk about why the Knicks would want him. Because is that a stupid question? Not even is it obvious to everyone why they would want him?
I think it's pretty obvious, but if you again from a macro sense, let's get one of the best players in the world. But If you can get more granular and explain to the people exactly why this specific team would benefit from having this specific player, I think people would appreciate it.
Okay, so I think, yes, Giannis is a top 5 player in the NBA. So you
Still.
almost, yes.
Okay.
You don't agree? Even if he's not top 5.
I'm asking. I'm genuinely asking. Yeah. I'm not, I don't know. I know.
Jokic, SGA, Giannis.
Tyler Hero.
Me.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay. So, yes, every team in the NBA, he would make every team much better, even though the team he's on is not even in the play-in tournament right now. But he's missed a lot of time, and they're just a terrible team, and he's also checked out. So, that's obvious. Like you said, obviously the Knicks would want a player of that stature, a player at that level. Now, the Knicks issues that I've talked about, I think a lot of Knicks fans have talked about it, a lot of Knicks podcasters have talked about it, is we're a year and a half into this cat era with the Knicks, and I'm very slow to draw conclusions, right? Like, I take a lot more time to come to conclusions than most people. You'd agree with that?
On most things, yeah.
On most things, okay.
You flipped pretty quick on the NBA Cup once the Knicks won. You changed your tune really quick.
It's stupid. Oh, the Knicks won. It's the best thing ever.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so I wouldn't draw a conclusion that they can't win a championship with Brunson and Cat together, but it is very, very difficult because when you have two bad defenders, and Cat's not just a bad defender, his defensive awareness is really pathetic. It's so bad. The level of effort on defense from Cat is terrible as well. It picks up in the playoffs, but his awareness is still a disaster. Brunson, his athleticism, his size, has him at a very big disadvantage defensively. He has great defensive awareness, and he puts in a lot of effort. He's really good at drawing charges, but overall, as a defensive player, he's a huge weakness. When you have your two best players that you want to play big minutes, 40-plus minutes in playoff games on the court, and they're both really bad defenders, it makes it really challenging to be even a decent defensive team. And the Knicks have tried to put great defenders around them, like elite defensive wings, OG and Bridges. They have Hart. He plays pretty good defense. And a lot of times, the reason why they wanted to go with a two big lineup is because you have Mitch out there, you're better defensively. So they've tried to work around it, but in a year and a half, it's become very clear that best case scenario for this team defensively is like middle pack of the league, around 12th, 13th best defensively in the NBA. So how do you win a championship if you're not in the top 12 defensively? Well, you probably have to be this incredibly unguardable offensive team. And in theory, the Knicks, you always say this, the Knicks have players, and when they're playing well, it looks like this, they look unguardable. They have guys that shoot threes, they have guys that handle, they have guys that drive, they have guys that demand double teams, that create space. They have pretty much everything you think you'd want offensively, but there's just something missing. And in order for them to take what they are defensively to be this championship level team, they need to be the best, maybe the top two offensive team in the league. And they're not, they're really good, like they're fourth or fifth, but they're not on that elite, like top of the NBA level. And there's something missing. It's probably because Brunson and Cat together aren't ideal. I talked last episode about how Brunson, rather a guy like Mitchell Robinson setting screens because he sets better screens. Cat's a really bad screener. They just don't play well off each other. Like, and you would think, oh, the pick and roll, the pick and pop, they just don't play well together. They've never developed this great chemistry together, and it puts a ceiling on how good the Knicks offense could be. And considering how bad considering the ceiling of the team defensively, it's hard for me to say that their offense is good enough with them on the court together, the way they play together, to overcome their defensive deficiencies together. And I thought, when I put it all together, I say Is it possible they can win a championship together? It's possible, but it's really, really difficult and unlikely. So, how do you counteract that? Well, you're not going to trade Brunson, right? You agree with that?
Of course, yeah.
So you move on from Cat. Now he makes 50 million, 52 million, whatever it is a year. How are you moving off Cat? You're not going to just trade him away for picks. Like, that doesn't make sense given where the Knicks are. So you'd like to trade for another star. There's not only a star, but a guy that can play the 4. In theory, maybe even play the 5 for the Knicks. That's on the trade block, that has said he wants to play with the Knicks, or has privately said, or has had his team of agents or whatever say that he wants to go to the Knicks. So that's why the Knicks would want him. It would be risky because you'd have to give up a lot, which we're going to talk about. But the goal is to win a championship, and the belief is that Cat limits their chances. And if you change Cat for Giannis, now you're bringing in a great defensive player, a better offensive player. While that floor, you're giving up a lot, so that floor might be lower. The championship hopes are higher. The chances of winning a championship, whether it's this year or next year with Giannis, are better. They're improved. And that would be the reason why they do it, because Giannis is just a better player. But most importantly, he theoretically, we don't know for sure, but theoretically meshes better with Brunson offensively, and he for sure improves them defensively.
Okay. Would you have any concerns with like ball handling? Do you think that two people who are so ball dominant would not play as well together? I mean, I guess you could just stagger their minutes, but they're going to be on the court at some points together. That would kind of be the whole reason of bringing them in, right?
Have you noticed that the numbers really suggest the Bucks over Giannis's career have not been very efficient at all in like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter?
I have not noticed that.
It's been the case. So fouls aren't called as much in the last 2 minutes of the games. And Giannis's thing is he gets fouled a lot. I mean, he's not doing a step back 3. He's not coming around a screen and catching and shooting. That's not his game. So I think down the last couple of minutes, I envision it would still be Brunson, and you either set a screen with Giannis or you have Giannis somewhere else, taking up defenders, drawing attention. And then throughout, I don't know to answer that question. I think Giannis. I think if Giannis the question is, if Giannis has the ball a lot, what's Brunson's value? If he's a bad defender, and Brunson's Brunson's value is what he does with the ball in his hands. So if he's off ball a lot, what's his value as a player? And I think a couple things. One, he would have a lot more energy because it wouldn't be all on him. They actually need someone else that could really play make. It's too much on Brunson. And as he's actually an incredible catch and shoot three guy. So, and if you have Brunson at the 3-point line, spacing the floor, it makes it harder for teams to focus on Giannis. So I think in theory, Giannis with the ball and Brunson off ball would work a lot. The opposite, I don't know. I don't know how Brunson on ball, Giannis off ball would really work. I'm not familiar with Giannis off the ball, right? I'm not really familiar with what he does off the ball. Does he cut a lot? Because he's usually on ball, so I don't really know. I don't know how that would work. It's a good question, but it's a risk I'd be willing to take. All right, what else? All right, let's talk about what were the Knicks. What are the chances that the Knicks are able to get this done? So I think a couple things here. And this connects with, we'll talk about what they would have to give up. a lot of people point. I don't know what. I haven't been following the coverage that much. You can tell me what's true and what's not true. But from people I know, what they say to me is the Knicks don't have any draft capital. I'm just throw out the main reasons why people say that they won't get Giannis. The Knicks can't offer a close to a good enough package. They don't have any draft capital. They have one first round pick that's not even really a first round pick. It becomes 2 second round picks if the Wizards don't finish worse than the worse than like than a top 8 pick in the next draft. So it most likely vests to 2 second round picks. So I hear people saying, "Oh, they don't have enough draft capital. The Bucks want draft capital." The reports are saying they want either a young like blue chip player like a certain player on the Sixers we'll get to, or draft capital. How are the Knicks going to make that trade? They can't do it.
Or draft capital, the report said.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't help the Knicks' case really at all.
Okay, so that's one thing. I agree. So I kind of agree. So that's one thing that people say. Then the other thing that people say is, well, I guess it's connected. Well, why would anyone want Cat? Like, why the Bucks don't want Cat? Why would they want Cat? And then I agree. And then the last thing people say, at least from my understanding, is why would, and this is all connected to the first couple of things, but why would the Bucks trade Giannis to the Knicks when they could trade him to all these teams that have 8 first round picks and all these teams that have young stars or up and coming first, rookie players, second year players, the Spurs, you can go on and on of teams that have like valuable pieces to trade. Why would they trade him to the Knicks? And for a while, my answer to this was the only reason would be if Giannis says, I'm only going to sign an extension.
Yeah.
I'm only going to sign an extension with the Knicks. It doesn't seem like that's happening.
Yeah.
So,
the other concern, you forgot one thing.
I did. What is it?
Would Giannis be able to handle New York? I mean, he's had success in Milwaukee, it's been cute, haha. But I mean, could he handle this market? I don't know. This is New York.
This is New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to. I'm sorry. Keep going.
You can't help yourself.
It should be one of the top things when considering any star from a small market team. Can they handle New York?
In this case, people aren't actually saying that, are they?
No, I don't think so. But if the trade did happen, then that would, and they lost like one game, that would be one of the top headlines. Is Giannis built for the Garden?
No, it would be after they lose and then he does a press conference. He's very honest at some of his press conference. He's like, after being eliminated, we lost. Is it like they asked him if it's a failure? It's like, I don't know if it's a failure. It's not a failure. We lost.
Yeah.
Like New York.
Not
after the owner said he's expecting to win the championship.
God. Oh, all right.
So, couple things. What was the first one I said? The draft capital and young player. So here's the thing. Yeah. It's a little bit more complicated, but most potential trade destinations for Giannis involve a team that needs, for the CBA's apron rules, need a third or fourth team to help facilitate the salary, draft pick, all the stuff going on in the trade. There's maybe like the Warriors might be the exception to that. But so if you need to get a third team or potentially a fourth team involved, then it's a little more complicated, but it's easy to see the path there. Right? So the Knicks have a couple players that you're going to laugh at, one of them, but Knicks have a couple players that are viewed as assets throughout the league. Teams would want to give up draft capital for. Mikal Bridges. Teams would give up a couple first for him.
I think Mikal Bridges is great. I've been pretty consistent in that view.
You have.
So I would not.
That's not who I was talking about.
Oh boy, here we go.
OG Anunoby. There's a lot of teams right now in the NBA that are highly competitive, that think they have a chance at a championship or a deep playoff run, and they can use a really good defensive wing. That could also a 3-and-D wing. So there's a lot of teams that would give up many assets, draft capital, young up and coming players for a guy like OG Anunoby. So the point is, and there might be a couple of teams out there that would be willing that they think Cat's like the perfect stretch big for their roster. They feel really good about their core defensively, and they could overcome all the negative stuff with Cat, and they could really use the positive stuff. So the point is, you get a third or fourth team involved that wants one of these Knicks players, they're giving up the draft capital or the young asset in the trade that goes to the Bucks. That the team that gives up what the Bucks want, they're getting that player from the Knicks that they want, and the Knicks are getting Giannis. So that seems like more of an off-season thing, just because it's so very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But it is possible. Like I don't take that one reason, to me, is not a reason why the Knicks can't get him, because it's very realistic that a team would want one of the Knicks players and then give up those assets. And there's been teams mentioned, like Portland has a bunch of the Bucks picks from the Damian Lillard trade. Obviously, if the Bucks are tanking, they would love to get their picks back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Drew Holiday's name came up. That's a guy like Drew Holiday and a couple picks. Drew Holiday goes to the Knicks. Giannis goes to the Knicks. Knicks give up Bridges and Cat and Deuce and whatever.
Okay. All right. Look at you cooking up in the trade machine, dude. Wow.
Let's put it in the trade machine right now. Yeah. So what were the other reasons I said that people point out why they the other teams have better packages, trade packages. Okay. So again, that's true. Again, that's very true. But a couple things. One is, you just because you have something better to offer doesn't mean you're going to be willing to offer it. Like, there's a lot of risks that come with Giannis. He's 31, doesn't shoot, has currently his second calf injury, even though some people question if it's real. But he had a calf injury early in the year. Calf injuries are scary because they sometimes tend to lead they're more likely than any other injury to lead to a torn Achilles.
Mm-hmm. It's happened to Kevin Durant.
It happened to Kevin Durant. It's happened to a bunch of athletes. So 31, we talked to this on this podcast, right? Doesn't shoot. There's concerns about him aging. And then after this season, in the off season, he's extension eligible. It's going to be like a $65 million a year contract. So you're going to be paying a 32-year-old $65 million a year going forward. There's a lot of teams that may be hesitant to do that. Trade all they have right now and then give him that contract. You're certainly not going to trade so much for him now and then let him go. So this goes back to my thing, is like, there's only a number of teams that are in a championship window that would even be interested in doing that. One of them's the Thunder, which wouldn't be interested in doing that, right? Why would the Thunder do something like that? There's no reason. So I don't even know if you just go through the championship window teams or the desperate teams. Like, I think the Warriors are probably more of the desperate team that would be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then who else is in that championship window? I mean, the Nuggets don't seem like they don't have anyone to give up. I don't know.
Maybe San Antonio would be really the only other team that comes to mind. Maybe Boston.
Antonio.
I don't know. Maybe Detroit.
So all right. So Boston would have to give up either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum in that trade. Are they doing that? You think they would do?
I don't know.
Brown?
Probably not. But I think
Jaylen Brown's like 4 years younger. I don't know. It seems. I also thought the Celtics are looking at this year as the kind of like, anything that we do success-wise is like a bonus. We're just like trying to like reset the luxury tax number, let Tatum get right, and then we'll, really, put everything back for next year. But that doesn't mean Giannis is a player you change your plan for.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
I can buy that. I don't know if the Celtics would look at that. Oh, let's trade for Giannis right now. Let's trade Jaylen Brown. Tatum comes back off this ACL, and we're going to compete and win a championship. I don't know if they would view that as like a realistic
No, I don't either. I'm just spitballing. I'm just throwing some teams out there that might be able to talk themselves into it. That's all.
I agree. And again, like with Giannis, all the reasons why you wouldn't do it are you would at one point you could easily just say, well, it's Giannis though, so let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there's not a lot of teams that qualify in terms of like in my mind in terms of like, yeah, we can offer more, but will want to offer more, offer all they can. Maybe they're only willing to offer 75% of what they can, and maybe that Knicks best offer actually beats it.
Maybe. Sounds like you're reaching a little bit, but okay.
It sounds like Giannis is going to the Knicks.
Yeah. That is what it sounds like you're saying.
Okay, then there's the other aspect of, well, Giannis, you're not going to make that trade unless if you don't strongly believe that Giannis is going to sign an extension with you, right?
Of course.
So, how many teams do you think would strongly believe that Giannis is going to go there and sign an extension? Like, I think, why leave the Bucks to go to, like, the Bulls?
Well, that's not going to happen. No.
Why leave the Bucks and go to the Heat?
Not going to happen. But again, Detroit, San Antonio, Boston, like some of these other teams that it would make more sense for him to go to in the short term are going to make more sense for him to go to in the long term.
Detroit, I think could work. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, the point is that you could see why. Just because teams can, the point is, just because teams can offer more doesn't mean they will want to or they'll be willing to offer more.
Yes.
That's the point.
Okay, fair enough.
As I break down each reason why that people throw out why the Knicks won't get him, and I give a reason why they will. They like, that's not a good reason, or this is why they could get him. Mm-hmm. That's wrong. They're not going to get him. The Knicks won't be trading for Giannis at the deadline.
Make up your mind, dude.
And it's because you put all these together, it's just too complicated. They're not going to get him at the deadline, maybe in the offseason, but this just isn't happening now. The last reason why it won't happen is because the Knicks have an Eastern Conference that is open for the taking, and they have a team that could win the East without him. And they're going to want to play this out. They're not going to want to break this up at the deadline for a guy that's injured when they can just wait it out to the offseason, have extra draft capital at their, to put in the trade. They're just, it's too complicated now. So they're not going to get them. So I was trolling you before. I don't actually think they're not. The only thing that I think would actually motivate the Knicks to do it is the fear that someone else is getting him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think this injury is like a red flag too. I don't know. I mean, obviously the teams are going to know much better than we do the extent of this injury, but I would certainly give me pause if I was a GM.
The injury, the second calf being the second calf injury, the age, the contract situation, what you have to give up to get him. It's a lot. I agree. Mm-hmm. And for the Knicks, it's just there's just so many complications to do. You need a third or fourth team. You really need to be willing to give up on this core that they put together. Like there's just so much that goes into it, and you might need Giannis to play a role in this too. Like indicate, have his team indicate to teams that I'm really not going to sign an extension with. Maybe 2 or 3 other teams, like maybe the Knicks and the Warriors or whatever. What would the Knicks look like after the trade if they did do it? So let's just say they trade Cat and Bridges and Deuce and whatever, Kolak and Dadier, whatever. What would the lineup be like? So you'd probably play Mitch at the 5, Giannis at the 4, OG, Hart, Brunson would be the starting 5.
Okay, so Bridges is gone in this scenario.
Bridges is gone. Cat's gone. and then their best player off the bench, their best 3-point shooter, Deuce, is gone, and their backup point guard, Kolek, is gone.
But I'm sure they would also get Clarkson. They'd probably get back like a Bobby Portis or something too, right?
Yeah, they'd probably get back another player, another like rotation piece.
Yeah. So whoever they get back from the Bucks, and then
from a third team or whatever. Yeah. Clarkson, like it's not. I don't know if that's a championship team.
Your favorite Clarkson, yeah. Did they trade Yabusele yet, man?
I would expect by Thursday he's gone.
Okay, all right.
Clarkson's been benched, by the way. He's not he's out of the rotation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been proven so right about their 2 offseason acquisitions.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good job.
I don't want the Knicks to succeed. I want to be right.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Way to go.
I question it all. And this is another reason why I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they would be a championship team. I don't think they would have the depth to be a championship team. I think they would. I just don't think that it's worth it right now. It's exciting. If it happened, I'd be excited. I think every fan that even is like, hey, and we're going to talk about the Sixers next. The Sixers do it. You don't want them to do it. You don't want them to trade Edgecombe. You don't want them to reach for that like that shiny object that they don't like. You've seen it fail too many times. But if they got him, you'd be excited. And I think most fans, even if they don't want it to happen, are going to be excited that their team acquires Giannis.
Yes, most fans are rightfully so going to talk themselves into the fact that they have a chance to win a title, and they do. They would. Any team who is even a fringe contender right now, if they acquired him, would certainly elevate their chances. It would be perfectly fine to be excited, but also a little skeptical.
Now, did you say this on the phone to me, or I think we had a phone conversation? You said, "Oh, did you hear about the Giannis, the Sixers rumors heating up?" That was a few days ago, right?
Yeah, there's some rumblings. Going on. Yeah.
So, is it two things? Or do you think the Sixers are actually interested, and this is more than rumblings?
No, I do not. I think the Bucks are probably interested, but I do not think the Sixers are.
Because the Sixers have VJ Edgecombe, who is a incredibly hot, like valuable asset right now. One of the best young players in the NBA, and from an asset, like he's on his rookie contract. He is, and the Sixers have picks.
20 years old. Yeah, they got a ton of picks. He's super young. He's super good. He's super cheap. And they could pretty easily match the salaries if you throw in like Paul George's contract. They have the package that if you're Milwaukee, you probably want, right? You get the old veteran who's going to be expiring in 2 years. You get a great blue chip young talent. And you get a bunch of picks. I think that would be ideal for them, but I do not think that the 76ers have any interest in trading Edgecombe. I think they are viewing this season as we are letting our young backcourt develop and be great and grow chemistry, and anything that we get from Embiid, anything that we get from Paul George is a bonus. I don't think that they are... I don't know that they look at themselves as a serious contender. So, like, are they one of those teams that are going to want to inquire about Giannis? I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I think if they give themselves a good long look in the mirror, they know that they're not a championship level team. So, why give up the future for so much uncertainty?
Do you think Maxey, Giannis, and Embiid could win a championship? You really don't think so? Could they make a championship?
I don't know.
That's an incredible. That's an incredible trio. Even though I don't trust Embiid to stay healthy at all, but I think even Giannis and Maxey is incredible.
Yeah, that's. That I agree with. I think that would be an awesome team. That would be super fun. So maybe, I don't know, but I still don't think that they're willing to. I don't know. I don't know that
So
there's reporting.
also
So there's reporting that came out. Kyle Newbeck, who's really good Sixers reporter, he said that the Sixers are not trading Edgecombe. Like he is not. They are not willing to part with him for any sort of package. And there was a lot of buzz about Maxey getting traded a couple of years ago, and like very similar reportings. Like they are not trading Maxey. Like point blank period, lose our number kind of deal. And it feels very similar with how they feel about Edgecombe. So I don't think it's going to happen. Again, I would be excited and I would talk myself into being hopeful and have championship aspirations if it did happen. But I just don't think that they want to trade Edgecombe. And again, I think that this is kind of their I don't know if you can call it a gap year because they were never really like very good to begin with. But I think this is a let's see what we got with these young guys. Let's see how Embiid's knee is holding up.
Yeah.
And we'll take it from there.
The Sixers are one of those teams that fall into that group of what I said of teams that could offer a much better package than the Knicks, but probably aren't willing to. So what would be like the ideal package the Bucks would want? They'd want Edgecombe as the headline. Then the Sixers have their 2030 pick and they have the Clippers 2028 first round pick. So those are 2 first round picks you throw in, along with Edgecombe, who's essentially better than a first round pick because he's proven that he's a really good player at the NBA level, and he's essentially the value of a pick plus the proven aspect of it. And then they would have to throw in Paul George, who, by the way, when I saw the Paul George suspension, my first thought was, oh, well, now that trade's dead. But apparently you can trade a suspended player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of strange. I don't think you should be allowed to trade a suspended player, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
So the Sixers aren't an apron team. So they're below the first apron. But they're below it by $900K. And if you make a trade that puts you over the first apron, you have to follow the first apron rules, guidelines. So, which means that as a first apron team, you can't take back more salary than you give up. So technically, they don't have to take back equaling salary, but they have to take back under $900K. Like they have to be within $900K because otherwise they'd be a first apron team and then they would have to fall into that.
Right.
So it's essentially matching because $900K is you're essentially matching, but it makes it, I guess, with some pieces like slightly easier. But and then it actually would work. The Bucks would actually probably want Paul George now because he wouldn't be on their books because he's suspended for the rest of the season essentially. So I don't know. He still probably would be on to a third team in that trade, but I definitely could see why the Bucks would be interested in that.
Of course.
I don't think the Sixers should do it. I really don't think they should do it.
I do not either.
I get why some fans would want them to do it. Dude, what do you think about?
There is a segment of Sixers fans that do want to do it.
Yeah, what do you think about? What do you think about the take? I'm going to try to say this in a way that's more open-ended as opposed to leaning. What do you think about people that there's a rhetoric and narrative out there when it comes to trades, and it's really true in baseball and it's true in all sports. But Edgecombe's never going to be the player that Giannis is. Like as a reason to say like, oh, trade for Giannis, like Edgecombe, he's never going to be that level of player.
What would I say to that? Like logic? Is that your question?
What do you think? What do you think of that logic?
I think it's obviously very flawed because they wouldn't be trading for 25-year-old Giannis in his prime, and like that. It's not difficult to argue that the rest of Edgecombe's career is going to be better than the rest of Giannis's career from this point forward.
I agree.
I don't care. It's not about Giannis was amazing in 2021. Like,
well,
cool.
forget about then.
It's now
Giannis
2026.
right now. No, Giannis, we'd be training for Giannis right now, though. But right now,
that's what I mean.
Is Edgecombe ever going to be as good as Giannis is right now? Probably not, right?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, so what do you think of that logic? Not like trading for Giannis at his peak. Not like comparing to Giannis at his peak.
No, I don't know. Just I think the same kind of thing applies. I don't know. I would rather have 10 years of high level Edgecombe play than 2 years of high level Giannis play.
I agree.
Salary, youth, like I think that you still have the potential to build around an Edgecombe, whereas you really don't. I mean, once you trade for Giannis, like that's it. Like, this is your team. And if you don't win a championship within the next 2 years, then at least you tried. I don't really know what I don't really know what else to say. I think
I agree with you. I agree.
You would have a bigger championship window with Edgecombe throughout his 20s than you have with Giannis, even though he's really good right now. I just don't know how long it's going to hold up. His game is just so predicated on athleticism, and he's 7 feet tall, and his athleticism is going to start to wane. Like, it just is. It always does. Like, these 7-footers do not age very well, and especially like guys who can't shoot like that. That's what Embiid's doing so well this year. Tim Legler was on Bill Simmons' podcast the other day, and like, Embiid's not really physically. He's not as physically dominant as he's been in years past, but he's scoring like he did the year that he won an MVP, and it's literally just because his shooting is like incredible. Like, his shooting touch,
his skill,
is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's just it's bar none. And like, that's not Giannis. Giannis is, I'm going to run down your throat and dunk it on you, and you have no chance. And that kind of game just isn't. It's not going to age well. It's just not.
I agree. I agree, and I agree with you. I completely agree. That rhetoric there, that claim that people say like, "Oh, this good player is not ever going to be ever as good as this player," is ridiculous. Like, who cares if he's going to be? It's not the value of one player is not about.
If it's different, if they were a real championship contender, then I would do it. But they're not. So, like, you also have to factor that into it too. They're not a real contender right now, and I don't know if they would be if they acquired Giannis. Maybe. I mean, their chances would be better, but they're still not. I don't know. Are they still a lock to get out of the East? I don't know. Probably not. Are they going to beat one of the Western Conference teams? Probably not. So I'd rather better position myself in the future than mortgage, the next window of opportunity.
I think if they did the trade that we just hypothesized, right, the 2 first-round picks, VJ Edgecombe, even maybe throw in some swaps, second round, whatever, I think that they would be, the ceiling would be they'd be in the NBA Finals. I would be very concerned about the combination of health risk between Embiid and Giannis. That's a lot of risk there.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But there's some risk with a player you have anyway, Paul George, considering he's suspended and he's a cheater. So
yeah,
no, like the rest of
the I was thinking. So Paul George has to be in the trade regardless. I was thinking we do Paul George. We'll do Andre Drummond, Eric Gordon, and 2 second-round picks and a pick swap. I think that gets it done, man. What do you think?
Do a second swap in 2040.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm willing to part with that one. Okay, all right. You're right. I'll do it. Trade success.
All right.
They get Drummond, they get Eric Gordon. It'll be great.
You were so focused on your joke that you just didn't respond to me calling Philadelphia a bunch of cheaters.
How are they cheaters?
The city or
yeah.
Oh, come on. Everything the city of Brotherly have has been
stop.
cheated.
Okay.
Come on, it's obvious.
All right, go ahead. Get your Paul George jokes off. I know you've been dying. By the way, you texted me that the other day. I've never seen you laugh so hard in my life. Oh, someone got suspended for taking drugs. Ha ha.
Well, no,
it's so funny. It's like, what?
It was funny. Well, two things. Well, first of all, one thing, actually, not two things.
You were watching Seinfeld, dude. It wasn't that funny. It was like the guy got suspended. No one else thought it was
very funny. Very funny because he hasn't been able to stay on the court for years, so he's able to stay on the court by taking some PEDs, is my thought, and be a role player. I find that funny. You know, he's supposed to be your star player.
You got clickbaited because you didn't read the full story. You read the headline, and they weren't PEDs.
They were PEDs.
They were not PEDs.
Yeah, they were.
What were they? They were?
They were on the NBA's
it says drug
banned
policy.
Substance.
Right. It doesn't say it. No. They would say if he was taking PEDs or not.
Hey, if it's for his mental health, is it not improving his performance? If it's helping his mental health?
No, it's not. It's It's mental.
We don't even know what that means.
Drugs.
He could have just been.
Right.
Well, we are allowed to smoke. It can't be weed because weed's allowed. So he could just maybe it's too much
he was
caffeine.
Shooting up, dude. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you might be right. He might have been injecting caffeine into his veins, dude.
Typical Philadelphian gets caught cheating, lies, blame something else. You
hate Philadelphia. Look at you. What have you become?
I hate Philadelphia.
Wow.
Hate the city. Oh, awful. The suburbs. Oh my God. Jeez, who would live there?
Oh my God.
All right.
My God.
Subscriber questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
We had 2 subscriber questions last week. They really generated a lot of conversation. The question about why you hate college sports.
They did?
Yeah, we talked about it for like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Yeah.
You thought like I meant like in the comments and stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. We have 2 subscriber questions. You ready for the first one?
Yep.
Danya_Gordon. What would be an exception to going for it on 4th and 2? So this is in reference for those of you that did not catch last week's episode or don't remember. I, at one point in our conversation about football, when Sistad was ranting about how you don't have to go for it on 4th down. Like, you can kick the field goal. It's allowed.
It's true.
Yes, that is
still
true.
within the rule book. Somebody send a
not in
memo
2042,
to the coaches.
Though. It's not allowed in 2042.
You're right.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said at one point that teams should go for it on 4th and 2, no matter where they are on the field, 4th and 2 and closer. And I specifically said in an example that on their own 20, they should go for it. And you were like, hold on. That is the hottest take I've ever heard.
It is.
Okay.
Did I make that face, man? You looked like you had just seen a ghost.
Oh, you were stunned that I said that so confidently.
I was stunned. It was the least smart thing you've ever said. I've known you for like 15 years, and you're an intelligent guy, and that was like the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Wow.
Anyway,
wait, hold on a second. Should we get into answering this question, or should we talk about what you just said?
No, answer the question. No, this is a person who wrote to us, so answer the question.
Then can we get into what you just said?
Sure. What are the exceptions?
Well, first of all, I'm open to many different exceptions because I think if the analytics suggest in this specific scenario you should kick or punt or whatever, I'm open to it. But generally speaking, the ones that come to my mind are like end of game or end of half situations. So like 4th and 2, up 1 touchdown, 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. Opponent has no timeouts. I'm not gonna go for it. Or up by 21 with 10 minutes left in your own territory. Like, the odds of your opponent scoring 3 touchdowns in 10 minutes is low. And if you go for it and don't get it, it actually increases too much where it's like now the game is actually not over. So I wouldn't go for it in that situation. Those would be like some common exceptions.
Those are the two exceptions.
Now you think that's I mean, that's an exception. But those are just like generic exceptions. It's hard. It depends on the actual situation. But it's interesting that you tell me that you said it's like the dumbest thing I've ever said when you didn't even think to ask why I said it.
I know why you said it, because analytics and you should always do it. I know. I know your general reason for it.
Okay. So
it's gonna be that. I know. You're gonna come with some statistic. This is what we talked about last week. Whatever.
This is what we talked about last week, and I said you hate on what you don't know. You're hating on the idea.
Listen,
you don't know the idea.
You know that I have. So you've known me a long time, and I have some interesting, like, crazy opinions, and that's fine. But you know that when I am presented with new information, I change my mind. So
you reject it.
I am open to hearing.
Eventually, it's so in your face. You're like, okay, I'm wrong. Yes.
Yes, I need to be presented with like the information, the fact that it's good. And 4th and 2 from your own 20. So what if it's 4th and 2 from your own 20 and you're up by 6, like late in the 4th quarter? You go for it.
How late? How much time left?
It doesn't matter. 6 minutes left.
I'd go for it.
Yeah. Why? How about 4th and 2 from your own 10-yard line? When you're up 3 with 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
I'd go for it.
No, you wouldn't. You're ridiculous.
You know why I'd go for that? I'll explain it. Because if you're at your own 10, you're punting from your own end zone, the other team's going to get the ball around their own 40 midfield, something like that. Their own 40. The odds of them getting the necessary yards to get a game-tying field goal are very, very high. Very high.
Okay, what about the odds of them getting a game-winning touchdown from the 10-yard line?
Well, first of all...
Also very high.
Yeah, but the thing about all that goes into this. So one, you have to not convert on 4th down, which you're more likely to convert than not convert based on all the statistics. And then the team has to score a touchdown. Hold on, the team's supposed to get the 10 yards to score a touchdown. And then if they do that, there still should be more than enough time for you to get the ball back and score and get yourself. So there's you have...
Says who?
There was 3 minutes left when you went for it. They're at the 10-yard line. They're going to take 3 minutes to score? What do you mean?
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying in the scenario where they punt in the other scenario. So
no, this is why I would go for it, because there's 3 things that could happen in your favor as opposed to just one thing happening against you.
You're crazy, man.
That's
you're crazy.
Is that really crazy? You don't understand my point. You think that's crazy?
All right, so what if you were up 4? What if you were up 4 in the same scenario?
Up 4 changes it. I don't know. I would have to look. I don't know off the top of my head what the numbers would suggest there. I don't know. That changes it though. Up 3, I'm definitely going. Up 4, I'm not sure.
You would not.
I don't know.
You would never do it.
I'd have to know. Do you understand that point though I made though in that 3-point scenario? You get that, right? It makes sense why it's not that crazy to think that.
So it is, because there's so many other, for you to just make a sweeping statement like, there's instances where I would never do.
No, I said the the subscriber
What if
asked
you have a
for
bad offense?
an
What if
example.
you have a great defense that you trust? Like, it's not just the analytics. It's like, no.
There are, it's not just a yes or a no. Yes, I never said it was.
You
I
said
think I said
that
I think I don't know what the exact wording. I was like either most of the time or I would go much more often than what teams do, or like there's obviously exceptions. I think I mentioned every time I've said this, I've said that there are exceptions, which is why the subscriber asked what my exceptions are, because I said there were exceptions. I would never make a sweeping claim in anything. On anything.
Of course you would. Of course you would. You are sweeping claimsman over there.
All right. I'll spare you the percentages of why. We'll do that a different time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Last subscriber question. This is from my dad, who you've met a couple times.
Yeah. Yep.
You're
Nice
his
guy.
favorite podcaster. You're his favorite podcaster on this podcast.
I thought Brad Dallas.
It was our original. Yeah, it was. It was in the very beginning.
Now I'm just by default after he left.
Default.
Okay.
At Stephen M. Joseph 1. Sistad, why do you hate the Rams? So my dad's a Rams fan. You know that, but no one else does.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And it doesn't mean by the way, I don't really think, I always tell him he's not really a Rams fan anymore. He watches them when they're on in his New Jersey area. So I'm skeptical to call him a Rams fan, but he still claims he's a Rams fan. Anyway,
why are you a Jets fan? Hold on. Why are you a Jets fan if your dad is a Rams fan? Because don't you guys like all the other same teams?
We like all the other same teams. My dad, the difference is because we went to a lot of Rangers games growing up. Always watched the Rangers on TV. We went to a lot of Knicks games. Always watched the Knicks on TV. We went to a lot of Yankees games. Always watched them on TV.
Okay.
We never went to a Rams game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a Rams home game. We went to like a Giants-Rams game. And we didn't really watch them on TV that much. We did, however, go to Giants games and Jets games. And my dad has this thing where, like, as a Rams fan, it didn't really liking the Giants and Jets really didn't get in the way of being a Rams fan. So he kind of likes the Jets and the Giants also.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a real Rams fan. He's not. No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, me and you wouldn't consider it. He wouldn't. He violates so many of your rules in your rule book.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. So you are a Jets fan because you guys went to Jets and Giants games. So why didn't you become a Giants fan? I mean, thank God, but
I was a Giants fan as a really young kid. Like a toddler and a young child. I had this. We were talking about, my dad and I were talking about this recently. There was this like championship video. It was like their 90s championships with Phil Simms, and then when he got hurt, Jeff Hostetler. And the video was called True Blue or something like that. And I would watch it all the time. I was a big Giants fan as like a growing toddler and child.
Okay.
And then at one point we were at a Jets game and they had Vinny Testaverde, and apparently I really liked his name. And I would just say Vinny Testaverde. I wouldn't say it correctly, but I would just say it all the time, and then I became a Jets fan. And that's how it happened. So Vinny Testaverde ruined my football fandom. Not that being a Giants fan is great either, but
yeah. Well, you would have had 2 Super Bowls to enjoy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and an organization that you can have some form of trust in, hope in, at least.
Yeah. All right. So anyway,
why do you hate the Rams? Why do you hate the Rams?
Why do I hate the Rams? So, it's not really that deep. Like, I would say that I pretty much hate all the teams that are really good. Not all of them, but
no, you hate them specifically.
I hate them specifically. A couple reasons, I guess. I don't like a couple players on their team annoy me. Whatever. That's just what's gonna happen when a team is really good for a while. Yeah, he kind of annoys me, and he's one that I mean, obviously I've had no choice but to change my mind on him. You remember I was making fun of him his rookie year, and everybody thought he was good, and I was like, this guy sucks. What are you talking about?
His name is Puka. Okay.
I mean, he's like, I mean, he's obviously like the best receiver in football right now. I mean, it's either him or JSN. But he annoys me. He annoys me how good he is. I don't like when it's not really their fault, but I don't like when media and fans just like anoint teams the champions after like 3 weeks. And they were kind of the poster child of that this year. And like they just weren't very good down the stretch, and everybody just kept saying how great they were and that they're going to win the Super Bowl. So it's just a combination of them being really good. Some of their players really annoy me, and the media and fans just treat them as like holier than thou, and I think it's annoying. They've also been like pretty, they've been one of the Eagles' like biggest rivals in the NFC over the past like 4 or 5 years. So that's really it. I mean, it's not that deep. I didn't like, I didn't hate the Rams like before 3 or 4 years ago. It's not like a lifelong hatred that I've had for them. But yeah, they're just really good, and it's annoying.
Yeah, that's not a fun reason.
I mean, it's really not that deep. Yeah, it's that's why I said it's not.
It doesn't sound like you hate them, honestly.
I don't know. Yeah, hate might be strong. I guess I'm just kind of sick of them. Would be a better way to put it. Like, I'm sick. All right, we get it. Stafford's good, guys. All right, we get it.
You don't like Sean McVay, right? Sean McVay.
I do not. I have a lot of respect for him, but I don't like him. I don't like him because I think he's great. Although he's like 0-5 against the Eagles in his career, or maybe like 1-5. Yeah.
I have one more question for you. This wasn't. I completely just remember we never talked about it.
Okay.
What do you think about the Eagles OC hire?
I have not the slightest clue. I would say I'm not super enthused about it. I haven't really read much or listened to much. I kind of like taking a break from the Eagles for now. It's been great. I don't know. He's a young guy. He was like I think he was the quarterback's coach or the passing game coordinator for the Packers over the past couple of years.
Yeah, quarterback's coach.
He obviously like was not their first or second or third choice. So that's not like super inspiring that they've had to, they basically got like the scraps seemingly. So I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, he can't be worse than Patullo. So
there you go.
I guess that's good. But I truly have no idea. I don't know what to expect. The league is seemingly going in the direction of like young, creative offensive minds. So hopefully this guy falls into that category and can cook some stuff up. But I don't have expectations. I don't really know what to think.
I'm sorry. I broke your Eagles hiatus. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked you.
You were
having a nice non-Eagles free couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's cool. Cool to ask about it.
All right, let's wrap up talking about the Super Bowl real quickly.
Yeah, okay.
Who do you have? Who are you taking?
I don't know. I've gone back and forth. What about you?
Are we just talking about who's going to win? Or we're talking about like spread. Oh, Seahawks. I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
Yeah. Seahawks.
Yeah, the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause with that is I think the Patriots defense is really good. And I still like
don't trust him.
I don't, and I am a Darnold fan. Like I think it's an awesome story. I am obviously, as I said last week, like really rooting for the guy. I think it's just like a cool comeback story. It's just an awesome part of sports to see this guy like come from the Jets and like in the dumpster for the first X amount of years of his career and just continue to get doubted and just keep rising above it. I think it's an awesome story, but like he led the league in turnovers this year and like by a pretty wide margin. A lot of interceptions, a lot of fumbles. I actually think that they're going to miss Charbonnet a lot in this game.
Wait,
but I don't know. I think that
this is something's off here.
I just don't. I think the Patriots defense is. I'm not saying I'm picking the Patriots. I just like, when the matchups were first determined, I just like how you responded. I was pretty damn confident that the Seahawks would win. But as the week goes on, I just think, I don't know. Patriots defense is good. Darnold's, he's going to give them a turnover or two. And I guess we'll see what happens. I hope it's the Seahawks, as you know. But
did you just say you think a team is going to miss their backup running back? You, who completely dismisses backup running backs and backups in every position, really. You think they're going to miss Charbonnet?
Yeah, because I don't think Walker's that good. So, like, I think when you have two guys who are fine, it's better to have two guys that are fine than one guy that is fine.
Okay.
Like Walker's a guy. Like he's not a difference maker. And watch. Now that I say this, he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP, and he's going to be great. But
he's very good. I don't know if I'd call him like a difference maker, but he's better. He's somewhere in between of what you're suggesting and a difference maker, I think.
Not a workhorse though. So
yeah, I agree.
And their backup, like whoever Charbonnet's backup was, is awful. And you saw that last week. I mean, he is terrible. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, I would probably pick the Seahawks, but I don't feel great about it.
All right. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, just again, if you're rooting for the Patriots in the Super Bowl, you are a certified loser. Like I said last week. No, I don't know if anyone's still listening. We had a few donations to my brother's GoFundMe, so that was amazing. That was awesome. Thank you all so much. Really, really appreciate it. And maybe we'll do like a giveaway or something for we'll pick out some of the donators, and I have a pretty good idea of something that we can give away that I'll talk to you about offline.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you guys. We'll continue to put the link in the description. And yeah, we really appreciate it. So thank you. Yep.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Please like, subscribe. I did that backwards.
Philly pride and Sistad soul, and you rapping NY Bulls. Together they talk sports and dreams, right behind the scenes. It seems Philly versus NY, hear the call. Who's the greatest? Who will fall with this rivalry? Loud and clear, join the chat. It's time to cheer. Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Sistad, glad you know.